We turn now to more breaking news. After being convicted of murdering his father-in-law and trying to murder his mother-in-law, former Major League Baseball pitcher Daniel Serafini is seeking a new trial.
Yeah, Serafini took the stand today in Placer County, claiming he had insufficient counsel.
ABC 10's Roxanne Elias joins us live right now from the Auburn courthouse.
Roxanne, tell us what happened today in court.
Well, Chris, that hearing just ended a few minutes ago. It was hours long of testimony, and what we heard today before going in is from some of the jurors that were involved in Serafini's first trial. They tell me they're here because they feel an obligation to see this all go through. They say they want to see justice for the family. One juror going so far as to call it all a pageantry and saying that they believe Serafini is just trying to prolong all this process and justice from being served. On Monday, Daniel Serafini took the stand in a bright orange jail jumpsuit, much different than his attire for his first trial that started last year. He continued to testify as the defense called him as a witness. The former MLB player had a 2-month trial last year. A jury found Serafini guilty of murdering his father-in-law, Gary Spoor, and attempting to murder his mother-in-law, Wendy Wood. The two were shot in their Tahoe area home on June 5, 2021. The Placer County District Attorney's Office says Serafini is now trying to argue that his previous attorneys, David Dratman and David Fisher, did not represent him well, and that they didn't meet the minimum threshold for representation. And now the judge will have to prove a legal standard to justify insufficient counsel. On Monday, his new attorney questioned Serafini on his whereabouts on the day of the shooting and the days that followed. Serafini said he was working for the Cortez mine in Nevada and that he had a neighbor he was romantically involved with named Candace Taylor. On June 5th, he said he visited her that morning, but she didn't answer. So he returned to his trailer and remembered grabbing tools and then going to a nearby gas station. He says he then returned to his trailer, ate, and went to a property before falling asleep in his trailer for the rest of the night. A completely different version of events than what was portrayed by the prosecution in the first trial. Serafini's new attorney asked, "Do you recall having communication with Taylor after having conversation with law enforcement on June 8th? He said he told Candace what to say to the police because she was freaking out because she didn't want her husband to find out since he was a jealous person. His new attorney asked, "Did you talk to your lawyers about the importance of having Taylor testify in the case?" Serafini said multiple times. The sentencing day for Serafini is set for February 20th and will go forward unless he is granted a new trial. Now, the DA's office says that Serafini's former attorneys are expected to be back here at the courthouse next week. That will be on February the 13th at 8:30 in the morning. And then Serafini will also be expected to take the stand again on Monday. I'm live in Auburn. Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
And of course, we'll be there tracking the new developments. Roxanne, we thank you for that live update.